Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ask Doc Live. So excited to have you here with us on Ask Doc Live, where we are bringing alternative information that is not alternative. It's going back to using food as medicine, as the good Lord intended. And we are so excited to have all of you here with us today. So this program is brought to you by AskDocLive.com, and you can find all of our replays at AskDocLive.com. You can also find all of the books that Dr. Wallach will be mentioning, and his most popular books are found there on the website, and all of the products that you will be learning about today or hearing about today will be found there as well. But the most important thing, if you were invited to this program by somebody specific, get back with that person that invited you to watch this program, whether you're here live or watching the recording, it doesn't matter. You need to get back with the person that helped you find this information. They care about you. They have a vested interest in you, and we want to make sure that they are there to be the support that you need for a better health journey. My name is Rebecca Kozak. I will be your host for the next 2 hours, and I am joined by my co-hosts, John T. McCollier and Nasima Omer. And we are excited to be able to bring this information to you. Now, the content of this program is to provide educational information only about the importance of nutrition and supplementation in a world where our food supply is empty and void of nutrition. Now, that's the nutrition that our body needs, not just to survive, because we can survive on calories, whether they're full of nutrients or not, or empty, but we will not thrive. And that's where this program is coming in and giving you the information about making sure that you have the ability to thrive. The FDA does require us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, cure, or diagnose any diseases. And this program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. But we do bring you good news. The genetic theory has been proven incorrect by the science of epigenetics. Now, epigenetics empowers you. Because epigenetics is the science of your behaviors and environment, you should feel empowered. You can choose what you have around you. You can choose what you put in your mouth. And we're going to help you with making the best decisions and what is going to be most nutritious and helpful to have a healthy body. Now, the good Lord didn't make junk. We came from these tiny little cells that came together and created what we are now. So why not consider the fact that your cells can regenerate healthier and healthier with every moment? We are absolutely privileged to be able to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to guide us and instruct us on what we can do when we've reached poor health conditions in regaining the ability to have better health. Dr. Joel Wallach started out as a kid that was struggling, and he figured out how he could help himself. And from being able to figure out how to help himself, he's gone on to be able to help millions and millions, and not just the human, but also the animal world. And Dr. Wallach, thank you so much for taking 2 hours out of your week with us every week. We appreciate you and just want to welcome you to Ask Doc Live.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Rebecca, thank you, John T. Thank you, Nasima. Thank you, Ruth Ellen, the whole team. You are the greatest, and we really love you and appreciate you. And Rebecca's told you some heavyweight truths here. We have the capacity to add 25 to 50 healthful years to our life we have to pay attention to some details, just like when you drive your car into the filling station, you check the air in your tires, you check your oil, and you don't put dirt from Texas in there hoping there's some oil in it. No, you put oil in your car. So why would you just eat well and hope there's everything in it? It would be the same principle. You have to actually detail what you're going to do. And of course, the basic original books are Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And, you know, it goes back to the cowboy days. It was a terrible thing they used to say, you know, it's terrible, terrible, terrible stuff. But what they would say was the only good Indian was a dead Indian. Well, I took that statement and said, only dead doctors don't lie, because doctors don't tell the truth. Okay. It may be because they don't know the truth, or maybe because they have a kid in college and tuition is due, you know, either one, it doesn't matter. Okay. And so you have to appreciate that we have trouble in River City, as they say. Just quickly, because we're in the middle of this pandemic, it's not anywhere near as over. As of this morning, we have 50,547,419 cases of COVID in the United States, 50,547,419. Deaths, as of this morning, we have 815,413. You subtract the 675,000 deaths that occurred during the 2 years of the Spanish flu, 1918, 1919, 675,000. We have 140,413 more dead in 22 months than they had in 24 months. Okay, we're not doing very well with this. And the Delta, which is the bad one right now, the Delta variant, is, what should I say, very bad. But now the biggest one is the new one, the Omicron. Okay, that's let's see here, B11 529, the Omicron, and it has 30 mutants already, and it's the fastest developing one. There's more people getting the Omicron than the Delta now, but it's not, at this point, it's not as deadly. Okay, and so let me tell you, remember, for the first 6 to 9 months, the Delta variant wasn't deadly, and then it mutated again and became deadly. So don't hold your breath, because this Omicron is going to mutate again and again and again, and it's going to find a bad one. I predict it's going to be a bad one. Well, I'm the guy who got rid of cystic fibrosis, thought to be a genetic disease of kids, simple nutritional deficiency. I got fired from the Yerkes Primate Center at Emory University because I told them it wasn't genetic. They fired me. That's when I went back to school and became a physician. And then I got rid of muscular dystrophy. That's not a genetic disease. That's just a simple nutritional deficiency. So Marvin Rupp, one of our Navy SEALs we work with, a great guy. He worked in Idaho, Utah, Indiana, and Eastern Canada with me on these kids with muscular dystrophy. We were curing them right, left, and center. Pardon me for using the word cure, but we were curing them right, left, and center. So he gave Jerry Lewis from the telethon, you know, the guy who was raising all the money to find the cure. So we gave Jerry Lewis about a dozen of these charts where doctors, medical doctors, had signed off and said, we don't know why, but they don't have muscular dystrophy anymore. And Jerry Lewis got excited. He talked to the doctors himself, and he was convinced. So he went to the Muscular Dystrophy Association with it, and they fired Jerry Lewis and shut down the telethon. Isn't that a crazy thing? That was in 2011. And then, as a side benefit of a court win we had, April 16, 2013, in federal court, we forced the FDA to force the manufacturers of baby formulas like Enfamil and Similac to put these minerals in there. And we eliminated CF, cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy. And we also, just as a side benefit, we eliminated sudden death syndrome. Mothers were not laying on the babies and causing death of the babies. They were dying from hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart disease. Dr. Milan and I went to China. We did 1,700 autopsies on kids under the age of 10, 1,700 autopsies on kids under the age of 10 in Heilongjiang province, Qishan University. And I got the Klaus Schwarz Award for that and was nominated for a Nobel Prize for that because we showed very clearly that, and we made them change the name from sudden death syndrome to crib deaths because the babies all died in the crib. Not one mother had laid on their babies. And because their churches excommunicated them, for laying on their babies. Their families kicked them out. They wouldn't even sell them groceries in the grocery stores. Say hundreds of them committed suicide. They shot themselves in the head. They took poison. They stabbed themselves, hara-kiri. Terrible, terrible stuff. Okay, now the last one I've gotten rid of is thought to be a genetic disease, is Pompeii's disease. You can have it when you're born. You can be okay until you're 60 years old and get it when you're 60 years old. It turns out to be a combination of cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, and diabetes, and it's easily prevented, easily gotten rid of. And diabetes is not a genetic disease. It's just a simple nutritional deficiency. I don't care if you've been a diabetic on drugs for, if you're a type 2 diabetic for 10, 20, 30 years, within weeks, I can get you off your drugs and be a normal non-diabetic and so forth. And so the same thing is true for high blood pressure. The same thing is true for kidney dialysis. I take people that haven't urinated in 10 years are on dialysis 6 days a week. And in 2 weeks' time, they're urinating, and in 4 weeks' time, they're totally off of dialysis and back to a normal life after 25 years of being on dialysis because they didn't want to get a kidney transplant. I'm telling you all this very quickly because I want you to know the wide scope that we cover. And we, through Linda Tyler, one of our great distributors out there on the East Coast, her pastor, Pastor Mike Freeman, was in a coma in the hospital. He only had days or weeks to live. And she called me, is there anything we could do for him? I said, did he have a G-tube? No. Okay, well, we couldn't give him anything because he didn't have a G-tube. He was just getting an IV to stay hydrated. I said, okay, we'll take our plant minerals, just the liquid plant minerals, and get his wife and yourself and go rub these plant minerals, you say a couple of cupfuls 2 or 3 times a day, all over him, his back and his chest and his legs. And they did. His wife and Linda Tyler did that. And guess what? In 3 days' time, he wakes up, goes back to the church. He goes to his TV studio and his radio studio. And I fly out there. We did an interview. We created a CD and a DVD called Praise the Lord and Pass the 90. And if you're in the military, you know what that means. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. You give all the credit to God, but when somebody's shooting at you, you want to have some bullets to shoot back at them, right? And so praise the Lord and pass the 90. Well, we also did with Ray and Yolanda Brown in Texas, where you're at, near Dallas, right? Great longevity distributors. And so at any rate, I did a bunch of lectures for them, and they're being finished editing. We should have them available for shipping next week. It's one is called The Health Crisis in the Church, and the other one is The Health Crisis in the Church in America. So those 2 CDs, plus the CD and the DVD, Praise the Lord and Pass the 90, those 4 will become a set. And everybody who's a believer, it doesn't matter if you're Jewish, if you're a Christian of some type, or if you're a follower of the Prophet Muhammad, it doesn't matter, because all 3 of those groups believe in one God. All 3 of those groups believe there's only one God, okay? And so we want everybody to get the information and save their members and their fellows, their brothers and sisters, and so forth. Now, with that said, I'm going to give you some very interesting people, athletes, okay? And of course, for the athletes, I like to use the book and the CD, Black Gene Lies, and let's see here, Black Gene Lies and the Slave Quarter Cures. And Nemo, on this Zoom I did the other night for them, he says, what is this Slave Quarter Cures thing? Well, the slaves, the leader of the slaves in each plantation, because they had their own community, the slaves had their own little government and amongst themselves and so forth. And the leaders would always live to be 90, 100, 110, 120. The owners of the plantation would die at 40 and 50. And so what was going on there? I got all those records. I'm saying, this is miraculous. And I chased it down. It turns out the slaves were eating the bones and the skin and the guts and the liver and all that kind of stuff, and just giving the red meat without any supplements to the the plantation owners. The plantation owners were eating wheat. They had gluten coming in, whereas the wheat was too valuable to give to the slaves. So the slaves were eating vegetables, and they put the wood ashes with the minerals in them into the gardens. And so they're getting all these minerals from the wood ashes. And so that's why the slaves lived so long. Plus they were using herbs and kind of stuff like that that the European folks didn't do. And so that was kind of interesting. Okay, again, praise the Lord and pass the 90. All right. And of course, Pastor Creflo Dollar, his daughter was 12 years old in the hospital dying with a quote autoimmune disease. And one of his parishioners was part of our longevity business. So I went there and talked with him. We went and visited the daughter, and I looked at her, and he told me the story, and I looked at her chart, and I said, no, this is not an autoimmune disease. And we started rubbing the minerals on her and giving her the supplements and things. And in 3 days' time, she wakes up and she's given him, I don't know, a couple of beautiful grandkids and so forth. And Pastor Creflo Dollar, he had me come lecture at his church. I made my first CD there, okay? And I called it Black Gene Lies, because there are no genetic diseases in Black folks. There's no genetic disease in white folks. There's no genetic disease in Asian folks or Latino folks. There's no genetic diseases. My thesis, 5,000 pages, my thesis, 5,000 pages, represented 20,000 autopsies, a grant from NIH. Let's see here, it was $25 million. I did 20,000 autopsies. Those 5,000 pages of my thesis is in the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure. I'm not bragging, I'm just giving you a status report, that's where it's at, and so forth. And I owe all that to Pastor Creflo Dollar out of Atlanta, Georgia. And then, of course, he introduced me to Andy Young, great politician, great person who dealt with Martin Luther King Jr. and the Civil Rights Movement. Andy Young was scheduled on the docket for a double knee replacement for bone-to-bone arthritis. And Pastor Creflo Dollar talked him into giving me 90 days. And in 90 days, I had rebuilt his knees. He never had the surgery. And that's why he's still in the government working, because he still takes our stuff. And then, let's see here, Pastor Mike Freeman, I already talked to you about him, and Linda Tyler. Let's see here. Oh, Ray McGregor. Ray McGregor was a guy in his 30s and was diagnosed by his doctor as having Alzheimer's disease. And he put him on the Alzheimer's disease protocols and medications and everything. And at the 3-year mark, he goes into a coma, puts him into a nursing home. And after 8 years in the nursing home, being fed Infamil, these liquid, oily things through his G tube and IV, he's down to now, he's only got weeks to live. And his sister calls me and she's just screaming his name, Ray McGregor, Ray McGregor. I said, okay. What's going on here? How can I help you? She says, my brother, she told me this story. And I said, well, what I want you to do, okay, is give him through his G tube, get 90 days. Well, I want to get rid of him now. Just even if to pay extra, get 90 days. And I want you to get our shakes. It doesn't matter what flavor it is, because it's going through a G tube. He's not going to taste it. And he's in a coma. So just pick, whichever ones we have the most of, our shake. And instead of making it with water, like the label says, I want you to make it with heavy cream. And I want you to soft boil, really soft yolks, soft scrambled in butter, however you want to do it. 3 of those with each meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 3 shakes a day. I want you to put in the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack in each one of those shakes. I want you to put in the Synaptive in each one of those shakes. And then call me every couple of weeks. Well, she calls me in 3 days and said, my brother, he woke up and he didn't realize he was in a coma for 8 years. He gets stressed, he goes back to work. Just after 3 days on the nutrients, after 8 years of being in a coma, being fed Infamil through a G tube. Okay, that freaked everybody out. And then Theo Ratliff, a great basketball player, 24 years old, played for the Atlanta Hawks, and he fractured his wrist, had bone-to-bone arthritis in his knees. They took his contract away from him. And again, Pastor Creflo Dollar introduced me to Theo, and we built the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack for him, and our Rebound, our sports drink for him. That's why his picture's on the sports drink, okay? And it took 3 months. We rebuilt him. He got his contract back for $35 million. And he played for 11 more years, made over $100 million taking our Rebound and our Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. Okay, isn't that cool? And then, let's see here, Evander Holyfield, a great, one of the greatest heavyweight champions ever, okay? And he had a heart attack in the last round, in the 11th round of a 12-round defense of his heavyweight championship against Michael Moore. And he couldn't answer the bell because he had this heart attack, so he lost by a technical knockout. And so I invented the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack for him, gave him 2 of those a month for a year and a half. He came back and he beat Iron Mike Tyson to get his heavyweight championship back. Now, how do you win a heavyweight championship fight when you just recently had a near fatal heart attack? Tell me that. Okay. And let's see here. I think you get the picture here. Okay. Give us a try. Give us 90 days. If you have diabetes, I don't care if you've been a diabetic for 20 years, you can be an ex-diabetic in just weeks. You're on dialysis. I take people that are on dialysis for 25 years. They've been, what should I say, really in trouble for the last 10 years. They couldn't urinate at all, so they're on dialysis 6 days a week. We put them on our program for dialysis. In 2 weeks' time, they're urinating. They drop the dialysis down to 3 days a week, and in 2 more weeks, they're totally off of dialysis after 25 years because they didn't want to get a kidney transplant. These are the things we can do. You don't, if they're talking about double knee replacements, hip replacements, back surgery, give us 90 days. You've already been suffering with this for 2, 3, 5, 8, 10, 12, 15, 20 years. Why not give us 90 days and let's see if we can't rebuild you so you don't have to have the surgery. Now, the reason why I'm so against all these doctor things is this just came out 2 weeks ago by the Center for Disease Control. Okay. The #1 cause of death in American hospitals each year is heart disease. So that's not too big a surprise. 611,405 dead each year in hospitals in America from heart disease. And then #2 cause of death in American hospitals each year is cancer. 584,881 dead each year on the average from cancer deaths in American hospitals. #3 is the one that freaked me out. 250,000. #3 cause of death is doctors' errors, medical errors. Now, how can any profession, how can any trade, how can any business stay in business if they're killing 250,000 of their customers every year in their workplace? How can they still be in business? I just pull my hair out when I see that. And this was the Center for Disease Control. This is not me saying this. This is the Center for Disease Control saying these things. Okay. And they had a little thing in italics underneath that. They said only 10% of medical errors are reported. Otherwise, they would be #1. Otherwise, they would be #1 cause of death in American hospitals each year. Only 10% of medical errors are reported. That's from the Center for Disease Control. Okay. This is very scary stuff. So with that said, don't forget, you can get almost all of my stuff by going to the website that Rebecca is going to give you. If they don't have it, they'll give you my website and you can get it there. Back to you, Rebecca.
So Dr. Wallach, there's a couple things that I really wanted to point out. The study that you did that created your thesis was partly funded by the NIH. Is that what I heard?
That's correct. It is totally funded, 25 million.
Okay, National Institute of Health.
Yes.
We have been hearing a lot about the National Institute of Health lately. I would love to create a massive impact in sharing the information that was used, or founded and calculated and used when you created that thesis.
Epigenetics.
It's incredible. I mean, folks, you just heard several stories that are true stories that Dr. Wallach has taken his information that he has collected, he has put it together into formulations that are actually helping people and overcoming different things that we have been told for so many years are kind of like your ticket out of here. Well, I don't know about you, but when my ticket comes up, I want to be loving life and thriving. And that's what I have been able to do, Dr. Wallach, over the last almost 6 years. I have been able to rebuild. And now my passion is to make sure everybody I talk to learns about it as well. So I just thank you so much. I mean, I have so much gratitude for you, Dr. Wallach, and I know others. I mean, I'm just one of.
Well, Rebecca, you're an angel of God getting that information out there, and we can't thank you enough. That $25 million and let's see, here's 20,000 autopsies in less than 10 years. And so it was a big project. I was supposed to find a canary in the mine. I was supposed to find some animal in a zoo in a big city that would die from pollution before we would. And so it would be like the coal miners taking the canaries down in the mines. The canary dropped off the perch and died. They knew to get the heck out of that mine because the gases were coming in. And so that was their concept. So when I did all those autopsies, I'm finding there's no genetic diseases in over 450 species of animals. There's no genetic diseases in every race of human beings. There's no genetic diseases. Genetics will determine your gender, it'll determine your eye color, your hair color, that kind of stuff, but that's it. It doesn't cause any diseases. That's all nonsense. And the doctor just used that so they didn't have to say, I don't know. Oh, it's your genes. Your family has 5 generations of diabetes in it. You know, you have to expect you're going to get it too. No, they live in the same place. They cook the same way. They eat the same way. And that's why they all had 5 generations of diabetes. You get them off all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, no butter, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. You get them on the healthy brain and heart pack or the healthy blood sugar pack. It depends if they have, but when people have diabetes, they almost always have arthritis. And they also have other things going on, high blood pressure and kidney failure and all this other stuff. So I like to use the healthy brain and heart pack and throw in the sweeties and throw in the ultimate daily classic tablets for the blood pressure. And all that stuff goes away. Well, I've had blood pressure for 25 years. Well, give me 90 days. Well, usually within 2 to 4 weeks, they don't have high blood pressure anymore. Okay, because it's not a genetic thing. It's not an autoimmune thing. But I do have to tell you, there's one thing creeping up on us here again, which we have to watch it. This is kids under the age of 6 months. They're infants. They're getting IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, which is thought to be a autoimmune disease like lupus. That usually happens in people who are in their 30s and 40s. Why are our kids now, they're only 3 months old, getting irritable bowel syndrome? Okay, they're getting celiac disease. They're getting colitis. They're getting, quote, gut rut, unquote. The medical term for that is, quote, necrotizing enteric colitis, unquote. And then appendicitis. They're only 3 months old. Well, that's because they're putting fortifiers in the baby formulas. And the fortifiers, most of them are made from gluten. And they can't absorb the nutrition in the baby formulas.
Right. That just, for me, I mean, we're looking at health, common sense. Okay, you take all the nutrients out of something and then try to put pieces back together. They don't work. They don't work. So I love the fact that what you have done, Dr. Wallach, is you have taken raw ingredients in their whole forms. You have synergistically formulated them together with things that help increase absorption. And when Dr. Wallach says give him 90 days, it's not having it sit on the counter for 90 days, folks. You have to actually ingest the supplementation and allow your body to absorb it from the inside out.
Because this means you got to get rid of the bad stuff.
Doesn't work. And thank you for bringing that up again, because I wanted to mention, Dr. Wallach goes through and he mentions the good foods, bad foods list. You can go to AskDocLive.com and you will find that list right there. In fact, we will even email it to you. So just add your email and we'll have it emailed to you right away. So we want to make sure that you are getting all of the information, because we are a resource for the people. Our hearts are really into making sure people are getting information that is going to benefit them as a whole and their communities. And, I just can't imagine, Dr. Wallach, for those of you who don't know, and I know most of you do because we have a very smart audience, but when you do an autopsy, the person on that table is not alive.
That's correct.
They passed on. They are gone. Their time here on earth is no longer. And that is something that really got me into searching for never, ever wanting to be on that table, Dr. Wallach, because I was working in the medical device industry. and I was on the quality returns team. And I'll tell you what, only reporting 10% is a gross, it's gross information. I mean, you are skewing the data in the way that you want it to go, and that's just not acceptable. And but anyways, back to, those returns. If we got it back, it's because it failed and the person that was supposed to get that device, 95% didn't make it off that table. And I did not want to be there. And that's what started my passion to find alternatives. And it took 15 years before I found you, Dr. Wallach, but I'm so glad I did.
I'm glad you lasted long enough to get with us, because you're a great example. You're one of God's angels. And it's one of those things where you have to appreciate that. I just get breathless when I think about all the people who die just from lack of information. And
Yes.
What a great gift for the holidays, no matter what faith you're in. For the holidays, everybody wants to give gifts, or there's gift exchanges, and we belong to organizations and churches and things like that. And so why not give a CD, a book? Why not give a 1 month, a 2 months, a 3 month supply of our product? We have 5,000 products. We have programs for over 600 different diseases. We have programs for over 600 different diseases. Now, you have to ask a medical doctor. Let's see here. How many diseases can you guys cure? Well, the only ones that I really know they have a cure for are bacterial infections, the antibiotics. Other than that, all their treatments just make people feel better, which isn't a bad thing by itself. I love my doctor. I'm going to leave everything in my will to my doctor, because I had pain from my arthritis for 25 years. And in 3 weeks' time with this new painkiller, I just take one pill 3 times a day. My pain is gone. My whole life is back. And then, of course, a year later, they have to have a double hip replacement, because killing the pain is not a bad thing, but it didn't repair the joints. And so it's one of those things where 99% of all medical treatments are symptom relief treatments. 99% of all medical treatments are symptom relief treatments. They don't get down to the bottom root cause of the problem. And that's why people say, well, oh yeah, I've been on my medication for diabetes for 25 years. I've been taking my medication for my high blood pressure for 25 years. That's absolutely insane. When in less than 90 days, you can get rid of it. And so this is, what can I say? Give it a try. You have really nothing to lose.
No, you really don't, Dr. Wallach. And so we have several hands going up. We have several comments that have come in, and I want to make sure that we get to all of them here in this program, or as many as possible. So let's go ahead. And again, I want to remind you, if somebody referred you to this program, please get back with them if you would like to order any of the products that Dr. Wallach mentions. We do have on our website, we have a contact us, that if you were not referred by somebody and you would like to get some one-on-one information on specifically what's going to be Dr. Wallach's protocol for you, you can use that contact us. We do have a call team that is standing by, but that is for people who have never ever tried any of the longevity products and were not referred by somebody specific. So we really want you to get back with the person that shared this program with you. That call team number is 855-949-7234. So Dr. Wallach, let's go ahead and get to the first hand that is up. And yes, I see you. Let me go ahead and add you to the spotlight here and ask you to unmute. All right, go ahead. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm in a school setting. My class comes in another 6 minutes. So let me go. Thank you so much. Doctor, you are amazing. I listen to you on Coast to Coast AM. I
Where
really
are you
appreciate
from?
you.
You have a little bit of an accent. Where are you from?
I'm from Jamaica originally.
Okay. So how can we help you, sir?
From Jamaica. Yes. My wife was diagnosed diagnosed in September 11th with Parkinson's. She has a stare, kind of. She has tremors in her hand. She's weak, and she walks stiffly. People have told her she was overtired, but she's not been the same. A few years ago, she had constipation, where she wouldn't pass her stool for like weeks or days, rather. A week, 2 weeks, she would not pass her stool. So how can you help her?
Okay, how old is she? What does she weigh?
She's 56. She weighs 180 pounds, and she
tall?
is 5'3". She's short.
Okay, 5'3". She should weigh about 120 pounds, so she needs to lose about 60 pounds. Okay. Okay. And so what we need her to do is get rid of all the bad foods, a good food, bad food list. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bran, rye, oats, no carbonated drinks, all the stuff you learned to eat in Jamaica. Okay. Got to stay away from all that. And then let's see here. She needs to, at 180 pounds, I want her to have one meal a day. This is a meal replacer. This is not to add to the meal. This is a meal replacer. One keto bar. You're going to have to get 3 boxes a month for her because there's only 10 bars in a box. So she can get one meal a day. It doesn't have to be the same meal every day. She can have the keto bar and a rebound drink or a sports drink with 100 nutrients in it at one meal a day. And then she'll begin to lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. Then I want her to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. The full dose, everything twice a day. I want her to have 2 bottles a month of our MSM. So she can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And they're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between vertebrae, bone, makes your bone itself. This will be in the skull and her back, her hips and joints and all that kind of stuff and muscles. And then I also want her to have our, let's see here, our synaptives. She could take 3 of those twice a day. It's going to let the brain cells talk to each other. It's 2 bottles a month of the synaptive. She also needs the de-stress capsules, which is for brain metabolism. Take 3 of those twice a day. It's 2 bottles a month. I want her to have 3 eggs twice a day. Is she on statin drugs? Is she on cholesterol lowering drugs?
His class came into the classroom, so he did have to go.
Oh,
so
okay. If she's on statin drugs, she needs to get off the statin drugs. And I do want her to have 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. And then call us every couple of weeks and let us know how she's doing, because these people, diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, that sort of thing, they turn around pretty quickly because it's not a genetic thing. It's not an autoimmune thing. It's all simple nutritional deficiencies. So we'll be glad to hear a great story.
Absolutely. And that's the nice thing about it, people, is when our body is nutrient deficient and then we give it what is deficient, there's no other way but to gain health. No other way, not bad health, but increase a positive direction of your health journey. Now, one of our first comments that came in is from Jane. And Jane, I'm going to ask you to come on live with us, if you would, please, because I'm not able to scroll through the message easily and I don't want to miss anything. So Jane, let me go ahead and ask you to unmute. And
Hello.
You are live with Dr. Wallach.
Hello,
Hi, Doc.
Jane.
Hi, Doc. How are you?
Okay, how can we help you?
I'm calling on behalf of my husband, actually. He's 65 years old as of July of this year. He's 6'1" and weighs 210 pounds. In 2019, he was diagnosed with a lack of kidney function due to the kidneys are not proportioned to his body mass. And that was just diagnosed then.
Is he in dialysis?
No, he is not. He's on a whole bunch of pharma things, which I can give you a list, but you probably know what they are.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I go to a naturopath. He started going to her, and she has put him on what's called dandelion root, celery, and artichoke supplement, which has helped greatly. There's some improvement in the function. We've modified the diet at her. We discussed things with her. So no white rice, no nightshade, no turkey. My question to you is this. Just in the last 10 days, our GP and renal specialist have been trying very hard to convince us that my husband should have hepatitis B vaccine. We are reluctant, but because we haven't really been given a proper explanation of
Okay,
is this a
well,
necessity?
let's just stop there because we got a whole line of people I need to talk
Yeah.
to, and that's too much detail.
Okay.
Okay, and let's see here. All right. Does he have any high blood pressure, diabetes?
No.
Okay. Does he have any arthritis or back problems?
And his knees, he had a hip replacement in early
Well, then
2019.
the doctor should have his license taken away if he had a hip replacement for knee problems.
No, the knee problems have been chronic for his whole life. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay, so here we go. He needs to get rid of all the bad foods. This means you have to eat the same way, otherwise you're going to cross-contaminate him. Okay.
And I have been. Yep.
Okay. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, butter, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. I want him to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. It has 215 nutrients in it, guaranteed drop dead on my mother's eyes. Okay. Okay. 215 nutrients. And then I want him to have 2 bottles a month of our MSM. So he can take 3 with each meal. And they're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between vertebrae, bone breaks, and bone itself. And then I also want him to take 3 bottles a month of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And they're going to support and promote healthy blood pressure, healthy blood flow through blocked arteries, and also significantly improve the kidney function. Okay, that's what they do. And let's see here. With all that said, he can use our Rebound or a sports drink with 100 nutrients in it. At his weight, he could take 3 of those a day. I wouldn't have him drink them after 4 o'clock because he'll be up all night. We do have, we've got 600 different products, or excuse me, we got 5,000 products, excuse me. We have 5,000 products. And so if he has pain in his knees or something like that, we, in addition to taking the MSM, we have the CM cream and we have the trauma oil you can put on there and get 2 or 3 hours of pain relief. But after a couple of months, you won't need that because you will rebuild the knees and the hips and so forth. Okay. And then let's see here. Let's just go with that. That's a handful to start. And you might talk to this naturopathic doctor and see if she wants to get involved with what we do.
Yeah.
And what state? What state are you from?
I'm from Canada. I'm from Central Canada.
Oh, okay.
Manitoba.
Canada. Okay. Yeah, I've been working up in Canada for over 25 years. I know it very well. All right. Well, thank you. We look forward to hearing from you because, Jane, you're going to have a great, great story. Call us every couple of weeks. Call us every time your hubby goes to the doctor and gets some kind of report. And we'll walk you guys through this. You are going to be a great, great inspiration for many, many people.
Thank you. So the vaccine, this hepatitis vaccine, where do you stand on that, Doc?
Okay. Well, I was in the military. We used to get 10, 12 vaccines a year in the military.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I'm not afraid of vaccinations. But then I've been taking the 90 essential nutrients for 75 years. I've been gluten-free for 75 years. Vaccines do not kill viruses, bacteria, fungus, or yeast. Bacteria, fungus, or yeast, or viruses. Vaccines only alert your body to the bad DNA and RNA in the bugs. So when the bug shows up, your body says, there is a bad guy. And if you've been doing everything right, staying away from the bad foods you can absorb, supplementing with the 90, you're able to send out the white blood cells to go kill and eat the viruses. You're able to send out the antibodies from the stem cells in your bone marrow to go kill the viruses and bacteria. But if you're eating gluten and not supplementing, the vaccines are useless. That's why they get all these breakthrough infections, because I guarantee you the people who get breakthrough infections are eating gluten and not supplementing. They're missing 2/3 of the process. Now, when I was in the military, I had already been gluten-free for 50 years, and I'd already been taking the 90 essential nutrients for 50 years. And so it's one of those things where I was doing everything right on the front end. So when I got the vaccinations, I got maximum benefit from them.
Interesting. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Doc.
You bet.
All right. Thank you, Jane, for coming on with us. Next, let's go to the next hand, and Deborah. Deborah, if you could go ahead, and I'm asking you to unmute now. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, where are you from, Deborah?
From Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay, well, there's a There's a foreign country, okay?
Right? Thank you guys so much for what you do, Dr. Wallach and Rebecca. Really appreciate you.
How can we help you?
My question is on my son. He's 38 years old. He's 5 feet 10 inches tall. He weighs 128 pounds, and he has a problem that when he lays down and he gets up after a period of time, his legs feels just kind of like a heavy weight, and it takes a while for his legs to kind of loosen up for him to move around freely. He recently has had a urinary tract infection, and he had blood in his urine. They went in and looked at his bladder. He has a lesion in his bladder, and they said his bladder looks stressed. And so the other thing is that he has a bulging on the eyelids that looks like, kind of an infection there. And he has a lot of trouble swallowing the multi-EFAs, the big ones. So I was wondering, he's on the small ones, just not sure how to fix that.
Okay, well, okay, it's really easy. The big ones, they're soft shell, right? They're the squishy ones. Just chew them up and swallow them after you chew them up. Okay, you don't have to swallow them whole.
Oh, he can chew them. Okay.
Yeah. That makes them small. All right. Okay. And then when you have a problem, when you lay down, and then when you get up, you have a problem for a while after you get up. This tells me that he's got sciatica, he's got low back problems. He might even have osteoporosis of the skull causing this stuff going on with his eyelids. And osteoporosis has nothing to do with age. It has to do with nutritional deficiencies, okay? So the first thing he has to do is get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, iron oats, no oatmeal for breakfast, no flour tortillas. If he's going to drink beer, he's got to drink beer made from rice. He can't have, Budweiser made from wheat and that kind of stuff. Got to pay attention to those details so he can absorb the nutrients. And then at 128 pounds, I want him to have one healthy brain and heart pack per month. I want him to get another bottle of Arselim, not from Walgreens, but Arselim with the 5 cofactors, so he can take 3 twice a day. Because there's one, there's a bottle in the healthy brain and heart pack. And then I also want him to have, let's see here. I also want him to have the MSM. He needs to take 3 of those 3 times a day. That'll be 2 bottles a month of the MSM. They will support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between the vertebrae, bone makes your bone itself, and the skull, and so on. And a lot of times when people have urinary tract problems, it's the back squeezing the nerves to control the bladder. And they urinate like every half hour or something like that. They just urinate a lot because of the pressure on those nerves. When you have blood in your urine, it could be an infection, but probably not. It could be he's got maybe the starting of some kidney stones. He could have kidney stones when you have, it's not from too much calcium, it's from not enough calcium. When you have kidney stones, they get down into the bladder and roll around in there and cause bleeding. And so that's a possibility. And a lot of times doctors won't tell you got a kidney stone because, they want to treat you for something for a long period of time. So they just say, oh, you got blood in your urine. Well, where did it come from? Did he have a kidney stone? Does he have a bladder stone? The odds are, UTAs, it's usually not a prostate problem. I'm surprised they didn't mention prostate. But the parathyroids are pulling too much calcium out of the bones to try and make his calcium right. Okay. And so I'm just looking here. Okay, I think we've covered just about everything that needs to be covered. And call us every couple of weeks. We'll walk you guys through this. And he's going to have a great testimony and he'll help a lot of people. But when you have these things going in the eyelids, does he ever complain about ringing in the ears or noise in his ears?
Ringing in the ears occasionally.
Okay, so it's tinnitus. Yeah, he's got osteoporosis of the skull. It's squeezing the 8th cranial nerve, the vestibular branch of the 8th cranial nerve. And let's see here. So he's also got a squeezing of the optic nerve, that's cranial nerve number 2. You need to get him that book. It's called It's All in Your Head. All in Your Head, and goes into 25 different diseases you get when you have osteoporosis of the skull. It has nothing to do, remember, osteoporosis has nothing to do with age. doctors tend to blame it on, well, you're 70 years old, you got to expect that. No, that's nonsense. Okay. Babies are born with osteoporosis of the skull because the mother didn't get enough nutrition during the pregnancy to build the skull in the kid. Okay. And so you have to pay attention to those details. Get the book. It's all in your head. There's 25 different diseases. You said he had a swallowing problem?
Yes, he doesn't swallow big pills well.
Okay, well, that's because he's got a squeezing of the ninth cranial nerve, the glossopharyngeal nerve also, which controls the throat where you swallow. So he's got ringing in the ears. That's 10th cranial nerve. Excuse me, the 8th cranial nerve. He's got the 9th cranial nerve being squeezed because he can't swallow. And he's got the swelling of the eyes because he's got the 2nd cranial nerves being squeezed. So he's got 3 of the 12 cranial nerves being squeezed from osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, get the book. It's all in your head and you'll understand. You'll say, oh my gosh, how did my doctors miss this? Because they don't get any training in this area. You ask a doctor, what side effects do you see? What symptoms do you see when you get osteoporosis of the skull? He says, there's no such thing as osteoporosis of the skull. Never been published. That's not true.
What's
Okay.
the best way to get the MSM into him since it's a fairly good sized pill?
Well, you take 2 spoons and grind them up into powder and put in some applesauce.
Okay. All right.
That's what mamas and grandmas have to do.
Right.
All right. Thank you so much, Deborah, for coming on behalf of your son. Let's go to the next hand that is up. Yep, we still have time.
Yeah, we got time for one more here before the break.
Let's go before the hand. Oh, I had several up here. Let's go to one of my questions that came in through email. Okay, so Melvin is 64 years old. He has been experiencing high blood pressure, averaging about 170 over 100, up to 190 over 107. He's a rancher, trying to get things done before winter sets in, so he is under a little bit of stress there. But there are times where he wakes up during the night, and the next thing he knows, he's on the floor, getting up to urinate, and then it finds himself passed out on the floor. He is 6'1", 203 pounds. He had lost weight, but has in the last couple months gained back 15.
Okay, so he has a history of high blood pressure. He passes out when he gets up in the middle of the night.
Yes.
And I'm assuming he passes out and goes unconscious for a moment or two. Okay. It could be his medication for high blood pressure. It could be low blood sugar. It could be osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the spinal cord as it comes out of the back of the skull. Could be a lot of stuff here, but he weighs 203 pounds. Okay. So got to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bran, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And for energy, he can take our Rebound. I wouldn't take it after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He'll be up all night. And at 223 pounds or 203 pounds, whatever it is, 220. 203. Okay. 213.
203.
203. Okay. 203. I want him to get rid of all the bad foods, as we just said. Then he needs to take 2 healthy branded hard packs a month, 2 healthy branded hard packs a month, full dose everything twice a day. I want him to get 2 bottles of our MSM, so he can take 3 with each meal. And that's going to support and promote maintenance, repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, makes the bone itself, including the skull. And then I want him to get let's see here, Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. I want him to take 3 of those twice a day. That'll be 2 bottles a month. And they're going to support healthy blood pressure. If he's on medication for the blood pressure, don't cold turkey off the medication. But as your blood pressure begins to drop, he can slowly, based on the numbers, reduce his medication. So he could look forward to getting off his medication over a period of 2, 4, 6, 8 weeks, but gradually, not cold turkey. And high blood pressure is very easy to get rid of. And usually, high blood pressure tells you got some kidney issues coming along. So it'd be interesting to ask him if his doctors are talking to him about kidney issues and if they're talking to him about dialysis in the future and that kind of stuff, because the kidneys will release a hormone called renin, which causes high blood pressure to drive more blood into the kidneys so the kidneys can filter the blood. And so it's kind of a weird relationship. but all those things, everything he's complaining about can go away very quickly. But and people will say, well, how long do I have to stay on the diet? Well, forever. How long do you have to stay on the supplements? Forever. How long do you need oxygen? Forever. How long do you need water? Forever. Okay, how long do you need the 90 essential nutrients? Forever. So don't think, well, I'm doing okay now, I can go back to my old ways. No, don't do that, because the second trip through, you may not wake up. Okay, and so you don't want to repeat what you've just gotten rid of, because the second, as I say, the second trip through might be fatal. So you have to stay away from all that stuff. And I get very excited about this because these things are predictable. I've been doing this literally for tens of thousands of people a month for 50 years. Okay, right now we're in 60 countries. We're just bringing on a new company. You'll hear about it in a week or so. And it's going to bring in dozens of more countries. So we're going to be dealing with maybe close to 100 countries here after next week. One of those things where it's just absolutely drop dead exciting. And of course, it's going to mean a financial benefit to everybody who works this new business, as well as the ones we have. So it's an add-on. It's not a replacement for anything. It's an add-on. But I will tell you this, right now we're making all the brochures and everything necessary so everybody gets the same information at the same time. And it's one of those deals where people say, well, what is it? What is it? Well, I'll just tell you this. Nobody can live without this stuff, okay? Nobody can live without this stuff. It's fatal if you don't have it, that's for sure. And so this will freak everybody out when they see what this is in a couple of weeks. And it's going to just make longevity, as world renowned as we are, it's going to catapult us into the space. And we will be, right now we're in 60 countries, and I'm looking forward to being in 100 countries when we bring on this new product. Okay, again, with the holidays here, I would recommend that everybody give a 1 month, a 2 month, a 3 month supply of product appropriate for whatever their friends' nutrition needs are. Don't forget CDs, DVDs, books. The product and the books and CDs and DVDs become a tax deductible item when you give them away, because you're building your business, you're advertising. Okay, you're giving away samples, and those are all tax deductible. So they're going to help you tax wise, as well as help your friends, your relatives, your workmates, your church mates, and so on. And so don't be bashful. Don't forget, you have present exchanges during holidays. There's gifts that go under the tree. There's gifts, stocking stuffers, all this stuff. You know, why give people a bag of oranges? Why give people, you know, a case of colas? Why give people a shirt when you can give them something that's going to increase the quality of their life and increase the length of their life? All right. And if they decide they want to do this as a business and they get on auto ship, I pay the shipping. They're only going to pay wholesale prices if they start buying this stuff on their own. I mean, it's just a win-win situation all the way down the line. And holidays are a great way to do it, because you're going to be buying stuff anyway. Why not buy your own stuff to give, and you get a tax break for it? Okay, with that, I'm going to turn this back over to you, Rebecca.
All right, thank you, Dr. Wallach. Yeah, we have something for everybody. When it comes to Christmas shopping, and we've got 9 different industries, folks. You've got somebody that just really cares about their skin and loves makeup. We have our mineral makeup line and our natural skin care products. You have somebody that loves jewelry. We have a whole line of amazing jewelry that is toxin free. You have somebody that loves to do the nail stickers. We have a whole line of those as well, with some fun patterns. In addition to nutrition. And for me, my family and my kids' friends, they're into sports. We love our Rebound. We love the pollen burst, and those can come in boxes or canisters that you can find something that's going to fit your price range for gift giving. And again, giving the gift of health, I can't think of anything better. I know in past giving gifts, you know, figurines and trinkets and stuff, they collect dust. They just sit there. Yes, there's a little memory, but how about something that they can actually put into their body and feel the difference? We are going to be taking a short break. If you are on here because somebody invited you, make sure you get back to them and say, hey, thank you so much for plugging me into Ask Doc Live and letting me be able to hear this information. There's a lot more to come. We've got a whole nother hour. And if you would like to catch some of our replays, you can go to askdoclive.com and you will find all of our replays there. You will find Dr. Wallach's books there, and also a way that you can ask questions through the Contact Us. So we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Get up, stretch though. Make sure you fill your cup and stay hydrated. We'll be back. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for sticking around with us. Again, you are watching the Ask Doc Live show. My name is Rebecca Kozak, and I am your host for the next remaining hour. I can't believe we have an hour already under our belt in the show. And just a reminder, if somebody has referred you to this program, you want to make sure that you get back with them when you have made the decision to go on the 90 for Life products and feel the difference. And even if you have not made that decision yet, get back with that person and say, hey, I have some questions. Can you help me find the answers? And I'm pretty sure they can help you find some answers. We have amazing group of people on this crusade with us. And there is always room for more. So if you have an interest in health and you would like to spread the good news and help other people, including yourself, find answers to problems that the medical community has just kind of given up on or just keep throwing pharmaceuticals at, there is an amazing opportunity here. And I am super excited to be adding on this new company that's just going to open up our distribution to even more people around the world. I am super excited about that. And you can be as well. I mean, with the longevity business, your distributorship, it's like owning a franchise. Okay. This is a franchise that you don't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars on. To become a distributor, you want to have your own monthly order. It's $160 and you get your distributorship and your first Healthy Body Start Pack. That gets you starting to take a product that is really going to make an impact on the lives of so many. And there's no better way to share information with somebody unless you have felt the difference. Makes it so easy, so easy. But it does take opening your mouth. It does take talking to people and, being confident in the fact that you are with a company that creates products that are changing lives. And no other company has somebody that we have with Dr. Wallach. So I noticed that Dr. Wallach is back. Let's go ahead and get him back up on the camera. Dr. Wallach, we have some more questions coming up here. Go ahead and you should be able to unmute yourself.
How's that?
Go. Perfect.
Bring them
so
on.
Let's go with the next question. Question. And Robert, thank you so much for being on with us. Your camera just went off. Go ahead and unmute yourself and let's get you up here with Dr. Wallach.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from, Robert?
I'm from Hanover, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, okay.
I listen to you and Ben all the time.
Great. How can we help you, sir?
I've been a customer for a couple of years. I was overweight. I was 251. I'm 5'11". I'm 64 years old. And they told me 2 years ago, this past June, that I needed a new hip. So I got on to what I believe to be the right stuff. I'm on everything that you recommend. I'm on OsteoFX. I'm on glucogel tablets. I'm on MSM. I take 6 of those a day. The glucogels, I was taking 5. Now I take 25. I'm experienced some pain back in that hip that they told me that needed to be replaced. And my right knee is, inflamed a little bit.
Okay. Do you have any high blood pressure or diabetes?
No, I was pre-diabetic. I had high blood pressure, but once I changed my diet completely, and I started, like I say, 251, I'm now 195. That all went away.
Okay, good. Thank you for that testimony. What'd your doctor say about that?
Oh, she was happy as hell. She brought me over to the computer and said, "Here, come over and look at your numbers. Everything's normal."
Did she ask you what you were doing?
No, I just told her I changed my diet and I supplement and,
Okay, good. All right. Now, I can't tell from the light there over your head. Do you have gray hair or white hair?
I don't have real white hair, no.
Do you have some silver in your hair? It looks silvery to me.
Yeah, I do. Yep.
Okay. All right. Do you have any varicose veins in your legs?
No, I do not.
Okay, good. All right.
I have had a ringing in my right ear for years.
Okay.
I still have that, but it's diminished quite a bit.
Okay. Do you have any trouble swallowing?
No, none whatsoever.
Do you have a balance problem? Any vertigo or when you get up or?
No, nope.
Okay, good. All right. So yeah, you have osteoporosis of the skull, a history of some joint stuff. And so let's go with that. And when you have a hair color like you have,
yeah.
Do you live in a house with other people or you live by yourself?
No, with other people. My wife and my daughter and her husband.
Okay. Do they eat gluten?
Yes.
Okay. You're getting cross-contaminated in the laundry, the food preparation surfaces, and that's why you're having a little bit of a struggle here.
Yeah.
Okay. You're getting cross-contaminated with gluten. So you need to talk to them. And so you may need to either get another washer and dryer or have them wash your clothes in a laundromat and something like that. That's critical. Okay. And so with that, I want you to get rid of all the bad foods. And again, this is for our listeners as well as you. And again, cross-contamination is very, very tricky. People say, well, I have this problem a lot. And people say, I do not eat gluten. Well, do you live in a house with other people? Yeah. Do they eat gluten? Well, I cook for them, but I don't eat it. Well, you're getting cross-contaminated.
Because once I started, the hip pain went away. I couldn't sleep on either hip. It went away. But now I'm starting to feel it again.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm sure you're right.
Yeah. No, you're getting cross-contaminated. So you need to work on that. Then at 200 pounds, I want you to have 2 healthy brain and heart. And again, you may be doing some of this, but this is for our listeners also. You need 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of everything twice a day. I want you to get 2 bottles a month so you can take 3 of our MSM tablets at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 9 a day. And they're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, makes your bone itself, including the skull, because you're getting, with that tinnitus, the ringing in your ears, you're getting a squeezing of the auditory branch of the 8th cranial nerve. Okay. Have you lost your sense of smell or taste or anything like that?
None of that.
Okay, good. Excellent. Are you losing any vision?
No.
Okay, good.
I think it's actually gotten better.
Okay, excellent. Okay, very good. And then, so at any rate, those 3 MSM tablets 3 times a day will support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, makes the bone itself. And then I also want you to eat 3 eggs twice a day. These eggs have to have soft yolks. They can be soft scrambled in butter. They can be just soft poached with soft yolks, soft boiled, soft yolks. Hard-boiled eggs won't count, and fried eggs will cause cancer. Now, also, you have to appreciate, are you on a statin drug to lower cholesterol?
No, I am not. I'm on nothing whatsoever.
Okay, excellent, excellent. All right. So I think that's going to cover most of your complaints there. And so give us a call every 2 weeks. Let us know how things are going on, because you're going to be a new man. You weigh 200 pounds, you're 5'11". So that's about right. So let's just go there. Okay, let's hear from him on a regular basis. You're going to have a great testimony, Robert.
So the best thing is to eliminate the cross-contamination.
That's correct.
And stay on, like I said, I'm on MSN. I take 6 tablets a day and 25 of the glucogel tablets.
Okay, yeah, the glucogel. And that reminds me, thank you. You could also take our collagen peptides.
Okay,
It comes in a big canister. Put a scoop in your drink in the morning, put a scoop in your drink at night. One canister will last you a month. I only weigh let's see here. I weigh 142, and I take 2 scoops a day of the collagen peptides.
okay,
Okay.
beautiful.
Okay. Look forward to hearing from you, Robert.
Thank you.
God bless.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Robert. Let's go on to Christy, who has her hand up. Christy, go ahead and unmute yourself. And if you can turn your camera on, that would be fabulous as well.
Hi.
I'm working on getting my camera on.
Okay.
All right,
Can you talk while you're doing that?
Well, yeah. Well, okay. I've been on your program for about 4 months. I originally called for the optic nerve atrophy. And I just want the optic nerve atrophy and tinnitus. Well, I'm still working on that. But I wanted to thank you because I was on opioids for over 20 years.
Wow.
I had a back injury in 1993. And in 2000, I thought, that's it. I've had enough of that. And I weaned myself off of all the pain meds, and I never went back to the pain doctor again. And last summer, my back pain was terrible. And after I started your protocol, my sciatic nerve pain, after all these years, has practically disappeared. So I was on opioids for nothing, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, you're
But-
exactly right, because opioids don't fix anything. They just relieve pain, and people are usually grateful. Oh man, I'm going to leave everything in my will to my doctor because I got rid of my pain, and then they have to have a double hip replacement. Okay, because the opioids relieve pain, but they don't fix the problem that's causing the pain.
Yeah, and so changing my diet, being on your protocol, my back pain is virtually gone. My age spots are disappearing. It's hard to tell on the camera here because, well, my hair's growing in here because during the summer, the reason I lightened my hair is because my gray hair here, and it was basically, I was covering it up. Well, now my gray hair is disappearing also.
Well, you're absorbing the nutrition because gray hair is caused by nutritional deficiency. It is not due to age. And that's a good sign, because if your hair color is coming back, that tells you you're absorbing.
Yeah. And so, like I said, on my optic nerve atrophy, because I have a macular problem, my tinnitus is still going, but you know, it's been 4 months, and the tinnitus
how much do you weigh?
years,
Christy, how much do you weigh?
105. I'm 5'2", 71.
Okay, so what I want you to do here, because you still have some of this tinnitus and ONA, optic nerve atrophy, I want you to make sure, do you live alone or do you live with other people?
My husband.
Okay, does he eat gluten?
No, we've been gluten-free since the middle of July.
Okay, well, just make sure, read labels on everything you have in your cupboard. Just sit down and pull everything out of the cupboard and read all the labels, make sure there's nothing with gluten in it.
Yeah. No sugar, no gluten, and you're right. Gluten is in everything.
Yeah, it's in everything. You got to read the labels, and even carbonated drinks like diet drinks and stuff like that. You can't have them because they neutralize your stomach acid, so you can't absorb iron and B12 and that kind of stuff. And so you got to stay away from carbonated drinks. Okay, and then call us every couple of weeks because you're going to have a great story. This is so common. Do you have that book? It's all in your head. Goes into the 25 different diseases you get from osteoporosis in the skull.
Yes, yes, I did buy it.
Okay, good. So go through and read that on the on the tinnitus and the ONA, and let your husband read that. Let your kids and grandkids and nieces and nephews and brothers and sisters and church mates and everybody you know read that information and say, "Oh, that's me. I got that." Okay, then you can help them. Okay.
Well, the few people I've tried to help, nobody wants to change their diet.
Well,
so what can I say?
Well, what you do every time you pass them, just give them the sign of the cross. And
well, I tell them, if you enjoy suffering, just keep doing what you're doing.
Well, that's a good response. Very proud of you. Okay, we look forward to hearing from you on a regular basis, because eventually you're going to run into somebody who wants some help, and you're going to have a great testimony with them. Okay.
Well, I try.
Okay. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Christy. So one thing about it is when you are taking the products and setting the example and people see the difference in you, they're going to start asking questions about what's going on, especially when they are hurting. The fact that you have come off opiates, that is,
Isn't that
that's
amazing?
a celebration. That's a celebration. I absolutely love that. So thank you so much for sharing that, Christy. Let's get to our next hand that is up, and we are looking to iPhone, which I believe is Sharon. So Sharon, go ahead and let's get you unmuted. And if you can come on camera, that would be fabulous. Are you there, Sharon? So while Sharon is coming on, Dr. Wallach, I have another question for you.
Okay.
And it is, sorry. Okay, so and Lori has quite a few questions in the chat, and she is asking about our health coaching program. And for those that are interested in health and wanting to know more about the health coaching program, you do not have to be a distributor to be part of our health coaching program. You can find more information or request more information at healthcoachbiz4u.com. And we have some student specialists that are there to help you get information that you need on that health coaching program.
Yeah.
You can also
and when you graduate, when you graduate, you become a certified holistic health coach.
That's right.
And it gives you some leverage. You have a business card with that on there. That gives you some power, because you're going to know more than doctors when it comes to nutrition and the benefits of nutrition and staying away from the bad foods and things. I'm breathless. That program was started by one of our distributors who's only 20 years old at the time, and she was working, I think it was for McDonald's or something like that, frying hamburgers in the back room. And she had problems, and we helped her with her problems. And she's become one of our top distributors and coaches in the company over the years. She married one of our attorneys in the company. And that was her idea to make what she had learned into a school. And so they call it the Certified Health Coach Institute. And it's like a small college. Very proud of it.
Yeah, so that's the Institute of Holistic Health. And Dr. Wallach, you found her at Taco Bell.
Oh, Taco Bell. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that story. And there's a lot of health coach programs out there, some that cost thousands and thousands of dollars. And this is totally different. This is information that is going to teach you, because a lot of programs don't teach you solutions. In fact, there are some certifications that prevent you from being able to even recommend adding a certain amount of water, let alone supplementation. So I am loving the program. I love to be part of the Institute of Holistic Health and supporting the students from more of an administrative type aspect as well. It's fantastic. And the next graduation is in January. You've got about 20 hours. You've only got about 20 hours of video lecture of the required sections that would then allow you to be in the next graduating class.
Wow.
So like I said, you don't have to be a distributor if you're just this business is made up of some amazing preferred customers, but if you're a preferred customer or a distributor, this program is open to you as well. So let's go ahead and see if we can get Sharon on again. And Pastor, I see your hand. Dr. Wallach is going to refer you to watch the replay. where he answered the questions and gave the protocol there. So watch for our email that's going out, and we will make sure that you get that information as well. So Sharon, go ahead and unmute yourself, and you can be on and ask questions to Dr. Wallach. And Carrie, if you're on with your mom there, go ahead and help her out. If not, we've got to move on to the next hand. And the next hand is your one key. So let me go ahead and get you on with us. And have you unmute as well. And you are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Okay, Doc. I'm Gary.
Gary, okay, how can we help you, sir?
Okay, I talked to you October 17th, and I complained about I had a blood clot in my leg, diagnosed on October 1st, and it was a deep vein thrombosis, DVT, in the lower calf muscle. I was extremely upset. And I was listening to you for a while on Coast to Coast. I even mentioned you. I said that
George Norrie.
Right. So anyway, I started with all your suggestions, and this is my little see this little thing here, right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's oh, look at that. Look inside all your there you go.
Would you look at that?
So this is my little genie bottle, or my little cap over here. Now this is what I'm taking. I want to go over this. Can I go over this with you?
Well, you got to go over it quickly.
Here. I 180 pounds, 6 foot, 62 years old. I'm taking the tangerine tablets. 2 times a day, 2 tablets each morning and night. I'm taking the Ultra Cal tablets. That's in replacement for the powdered stuff.
Is that it?
No, niacin, MSM, essential fatty acids plus, ultimate essential fatty acids, selenium, and the ultimate classics. Don't tell me I'm missing something.
You are, because the BTT 2.0 tablets, okay, are just, they support the immune system. They're not a replacement for the BTT 2.0 powder. The powder is vitamins and minerals. The tablets are built to support the immune system and be anti-inflammatory and reduce pain. They're not interchangeable with the powder.
Okay,
so you're missing 215 nutrients.
So I should get the tangerine powder.
That's correct.
Well, I was on that, yeah.
Yeah, you can get it in the sticks. You can get it in the canister. Okay, I use the canister at home when I'm making my drinks. I take the sticks with me on the road, the individual servings. There's, I think, 30 in a box. Okay, but yeah, that's a common confusion. I don't know why they gave it the same name, because everybody said, well, I just take the tablets. Why would I want to take the powder? Well, the powder is the vitamins and minerals, 215 nutrients. The tablets are a specific formulation to support the immune system and relieve pain and inflammation. That's it. Has none of the 215 nutrients in there.
All right. How about the choice between Ultimate Cal and the bio? What is it? The powdered bone stuff.
Okay, beyond Osteo.
Right.
We also have the Beyond Osteo FX and the collagen peptides. You can go either direction. I do both. I take the liquid calcium. I take the Beyond Osteo FX, and I take the collagen peptides. I do that twice a day. And then, of course, for kids, we have the kids toddy, the Cherry Mins, and the EFAs. Those 3 for the kids. That gives them everything they need. And so, you can keep on those BTT 2.0 tablets because they have a purpose, but you still have to get you the BTT 2.0 or 2.5. Either one will work of the 215 vitamins and minerals.
So the niacin is to open up the blood vessels for the clot, and the selenium is also good.
Well, the selenium is required by every cell in your body, regardless of what organ or tissue it is. But there's 5 cofactors in our selenium, okay? And your hair color will come back in your beard and your hair, so you know you're absorbing when your hair color comes back. Be sure you're off of gluten, no wheat, butter, rye, and oats. You can't even say the word. Just saying the word is enough to cause you problems, okay? You cannot deal with wheat, butter, rye, or oats. You cannot live in a house where people are eating wheat, butter, rye, and oats, because you're going to get cross-contaminated in the laundry, the food preparation surfaces, the couches, the beds, the rugs, and car seats, and so on. And this is very sensitive stuff. You'll
Yeah, I
lose
don't
25.
understand. Right, I don't understand how that works. Why is it so sensitive? Is there
Okay,
cells,
here's why.
molecules, or what?
Okay, well, there's a chemical in gluten that causes your villi and your intestines to die. So instead of your intestines looking like a shag rug and the villi increase your absorptive surface by 98%, those villi die and go away over a period of months, just a period of months, they go away. And now you have a plastic tube. You've lost 98% of your absorptive surface. And this is why kids get asthma, and this is why kids get all kinds of stuff. And these little kids now, 6 months old, they're getting all these terrible diseases like irritable bowel syndrome and celiac disease and all this kind of stuff. They're only 3 months old. They're getting the stuff that normally only appears in people who are in their 40s and 50s. And that's because they have these things they're putting in the formulas now to kind of thicken them up a little bit or something. I don't know. But they're made out of wheat, butter, rye, and oats. And that's causing problems.
Well, Doc,
Okay.
you're gonna eliminate half the population of pastry chefs and bakeries.
Well, that's not the purpose, but it wouldn't hurt to, send all the gluten we have in America, give it for free to all the other countries, we're fighting.
Okay, what about the MSM?
Okay, MSM, yep, I take 3 of those twice a day. You can take a minimum of 3 twice a day. If you have back problems, if you have sciatica, if you have knee or hip problems, I'd go with 3 times a day. They will support and promote maintenance, repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between the vertebrae. Bone makes bone a cell, and and of course, the matrix is the same stuff that's the walls of your artery, your skin, or 2/3 of your skin's thickness are made from connective tissue. Just the same stuff your tendons and ligaments are made out of.
Okay, how about the ultimate classic?
That's not ultimate classic. That's ultimate.
Daily classic.
Ultimate daily classic.
There you go. Ultimate classic is a liquid multiple.
Gotcha.
Okay. And so you need to, I take 3 of those twice a day, and that supports healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through blocked arteries in your brain, your eyes, your heart, your kidneys. If you're on kidney dialysis, that Ultimate Daily Classic will help you get off of dialysis in weeks. I don't care if you've been on dialysis for 25 years.
Hey, I was diagnosed with, but before I started taking these things, I was diagnosed with a little high blood pressure.
Okay, we'll take those Ultimate Daily Classics, take 3 of those twice a day. And again, as long as you're absorbing it, the blood pressure will come down. If you're on medication for the blood pressure, don't cold turkey off the medication, but only reduce it based on your blood pressure going down slowly. Then you can reduce the medication based on the amount of improvement. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Gary.
I'm gonna keep track and call in again then in a couple weeks.
Yeah, call in 2 weeks and 4 weeks and 6 weeks. Within 90 days, you'll be a totally new person.
You think my beard is gonna turn black again?
Yep. I do this thousands of times a month all over the world.
All right, thank you.
It will start to darken.
But Gary's laughing, so he doesn't believe it.
No, I have to stay on this stuff. Like I said, I got my little, look at this, my little genie bottle right here with the.
Perfect.
Just remember, right now you're 215 nutrients short.
I'll start well, I was on the Tangy Tangerine. I just tried the Tangy Tangerine tablets because you had a slip in there from the box saying that try these in lieu of the Tangy Tangerine. So maybe we should change that marketing scheme.
Was that from the company?
Yes.
Oh, I'll have to talk to them.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Let's thank Thank you, Gary. Let's
All right.
move on. Lori, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach. I know you had some great comments, so thank you for raising your hand.
Well, a lot of things. I did do my hair analysis, Doc, and I'm waiting for my results because obviously I have white hair.
Yep.
And I've had some toxic exposure. So you gave me some suggestions and I'm doing my best to follow through with what you say. However,
Are you gluten free?
That's the problem I'm having. I think
Yes, that's why you have white hair.
my toxic exposures and everything, I have really a hard time following through with anything.
Okay, well, eat rice. I eat the 3 big scoops of wild rice every morning for breakfast, steamed, not fried. And I had this morning, I had some smoked salmon. I had 3 soft poached eggs. I had 2 of my 4-ounce things of yogurt, okay, without gluten in it. And then of course I had an apple. I had all my supplements and so forth. And that's kind of my typical breakfast. I have rice in the morning or I'll have baked sweet potatoes. Okay.
So I thought regular like jasmine rice or basmati rice, is that
That's fine.
gluten in it too?
I don't know. You have to read
okay?
the label. You have to read, as long as it's gluten free.
Well, I've heard different stories about rice being,
Read the
gluten.
label.
Okay. But yeah, I think the question kind of was about pica, that if you are really nutritional deficient, is your brain playing tricks on you and impulsive?
Well,
and...
how many nutrients does your brain need to function properly? 90.
Well, I just have a hard time remembering to take supplements and following through with all of that. So
Well,
I
what you
do
want to
have
do,
my
what you do,
EPAs.
what you do is you make your supplements for breakfast in the evening. They're ready for you to go, okay? And then you make your supplements for the evening during the day. Don't do it just beforehand, okay? And so you have it written out. You just check things off as you go down the list. You have to be organized here. You're throwing your life away if you don't pay attention to these details. You have the red warning light. You ever hear of a red warning light in the dashboard of a car?
I have lots of warning lights going on, and it's been going on for a long time.
Okay, well, you're in trouble. And so you have to be more organized than other people. You need to write down what you need to do and check it off as you go and do it twice a day and stay away from the bad foods, because you might as well, you're shooting yourself in the head if you're not paying attention to details. You're giving up 25 to 50 healthy years of your life. You're just throwing them away.
Well, between toxic exposure and ADHD and everything else, I really have a hard time.
Okay, stop.
Any of it.
Stop. Okay, toxic exposure. Now, I get this all the time from people. Oh yeah, I was in the military for 5 years or 10 years and I have all this toxic exposure. I worked in a factory in toxic exposure. Did you say you got a hair analysis?
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I've called her twice and supposedly it's in the mail.
Okay.
I've had a rat poison exposure, mold.
Okay,
mercury.
stop. Okay, stop. Let's see what it says. Okay, you're gonna have 2 tables. One table is gonna be all your essential mineral nutrients, whether they're low or high. If they're all low, that means you're not absorbing. If they're all low, you're not absorbing. But then you also have a second chart that goes into all the bad chemicals, lead, things like mercury, uranium, all that kind of stuff, and check that off. So when you get the hair analysis, call us again and we'll walk you through it, okay? But you did the right thing to get the hair analysis. That was very good, very smart. Okay, so we look forward to getting the results. In the meantime, you need to make sure that if anybody comes to your house and they eat gluten, they need to strip down in the front yard. You need to hose them down with water before you let them in the house.
I'm living in my van, but hopefully I have housing next month if I can afford it.
Okay, but don't let them in your van. Okay, okay.
Lori, when you get your results, if you want to send an email in contact through the contact at Ask Doc Live, I will help you with deciphering what your what your analysis shows for you, okay?
There you go. Boy, that's great.
Oh. All right. Well, Dr. Wallach, we have some other questions here that have come in through email.
Okay.
And so my buddy in Birmingham has two things. So to start off, he's 6'1", 240 pounds, 66 years old. He does have varicose veins and he does have gray hair. 5 years ago, he was diagnosed with venous insufficiency due to a physical injury whereby the skin above my inner lower left leg was punctured. He says, I would not allow them to take the vein out. So he has been doing things like cayenne pepper and turmeric to try to help reduce inflammation and increase blood flow. But he would like to know what he can do for that. And the second part of his question is he was diagnosed with, is it uveitis? Uveitis? The ophthalmologist specialist is decreasing his steroid drops and soon not to be taking them at all. So he is showing some improvement while being on the supplementation, and he's so excited for that. And he quit his statin and reducing blood pressure medications, and he's looking better, feeling better. But he wants to be on that track to join the Hunza population.
Okay, good. Yeah, 120 years.
Yeah, so is there anything that he can do that will help with the venous insufficiency in the lower legs?
So is he getting edema and swelling of his legs? Is that what he's talking about?
Well, there's poor circulation. So he has not mentioned that there's
veins take the blood out of the legs back up to the heart.
Yep. Arteries do go the other. Yeah.
Arteries bring the blood into the legs. Okay. And uveitis, it's a throat thing. Okay. So he may have osteoporosis, the skull squeezing the ninth cranial nerve. Okay. The glossopharyngeal nerve. And if he has trouble swallowing and that kind of stuff, it'll be the ninth cranial nerve being squeezed. And see here, it's one of those things where, and again, he's 66. He could have osteoporosis of the skull for 20 years before all these symptoms started showing up. Okay. Does he have ringing in the ears? Does he have loss of his sense of taste or smell? That kind of thing? Is he having vision problems? Does he have joint? Yes.
So he did have vision problems, and that's improving. So
okay, good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's probably osteoporosis of the skull. And then again, when it comes to other stuff, lung stuff, respiration, does he have a regular heartbeat? Does he have AFib, tachycardia, those kinds of things? All right. But anyway, obviously he's on some stuff because he's seeing improvement here and there. But let's go with the system, okay? He's 240 pounds, 6'1". He's maybe 30 pounds overweight from an ideal weight, unless he's a bodybuilder. And then I want him to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, butter, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. I want him to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Full dose everything twice a day. I want to get 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so I can take 3 of those with each meal, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner. They're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, including the walls of the veins and the arteries, tendons, ligaments, and so forth. I want him also to take our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. He can take 3 of those 3 times a day. That's 3 bottles a month because he's a big boy, 240 pounds. I want him to do that, and that will support and promote healthy blood pressure. And if he's on medication, don't cold turkey off of it. Because he has white, gray, or silver hair, his hair color will start coming back if he's doing everything right, because he's absorbing. Same thing with his veins. That goes along with the white hair. And if he wants to lose that weight, that 40 pounds, he can get 3 boxes a month of our keto bars. And it's a meal replacer. It's not to be added to a meal, but a meal replacer. Add it, have one meal, doesn't have to be the same meal every day, but one meal a day of a keto bar and a Rebound sports drink. And then, of course, all the other meals, he wants to eat like an Asian, live on rice and sweet potatoes and beans and squash and fish and poultry and sheep and beef and so forth. All righty.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. Now, the next comment that we have here is, I'm 49 years old, 160 pounds. What do I do for nail fungus?
Okay. Need to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, butter. I know, said I'm going to go per 100 pounds of body weight because he didn't say how, 160 pounds?
160 pounds, yes.
Okay. All right. So right that cusp, but let's go with 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, 1 bottle a month of the MSM, take 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month of the hair, skin, and nails.
Okay.
Take 3 of those twice a day. And let's start there because he didn't mention any other issues. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach.
And for energy, you can use the Rebound sports drink. Not after 4 o'clock.
Right. Unless you have a late night and
you're a nighttime truck driver.
That's right. Or your hours are skewed so that you're not the 8 to 5 type person. So now Pamela has a question, Dr. Wallach, and she's wanting to know about the gray hair. She's been on the products for about 3 months. And if she's not seeing any difference in the change of hair, does that mean that she's not absorbing?
I mean, she's not maximally absorbing. Okay. And that means either she or somebody in her house is cross-contaminating her. She's getting gluten from somewhere. Because after 3 months, she should start seeing her hair color changing back to its original color, from, like when she was 12 years old, whether it's blonde or red or brown or black. But it changes very quickly because having white, gray, and silver hair is not due to aging, it's due to a nutritional deficiency. That same nutritional deficiency causes vitiligo, a loss of skin color, a very, very, what should I say, very easy to see in Black people. Okay. And also, that's what killed Michael Jackson. He had vitiligo as a kid, and the doctors told his mother he had a genetic disease. Nothing they could do about it except put makeup on it. And that's why he wore the gloves with all the jewelry on it. That's why he wore wigs and colored his hair. He put every day he would have to have a makeup artist put like tattoos on his face with makeup because his skin on his face was snow white like typing paper, and it would freak everybody out. And he died of a ruptured aneurysm, which is the terminal end of that deficiency that causes white, gray, and hair and varicose veins. So the doctor killed him as sure as he shot him in the head. They just gave him a slow, painful, embarrassing death.
That is such an ugly graphic expression, Dr. Wallach. I just have to say, but it is impactful, definitely.
What word was that?
Shoot him in the head. That is just not, I don't know.
Well, see, there's less pain to be shot in the head. You're dead instantly instead of suffering for 30 years.
I do understand that. And I love the fact that we're able to empower people so that they can be healthier physically and mentally and financially, so they don't even have to have those thoughts.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Well, let's go to our next guest here, and let me go ahead and ask them to unmute. So Vernisa, if you can turn your camera on, that would be fabulous. If not, go ahead and unmute yourself and you will be on live with Dr. Wallach.
Okay, is that with a B or a V?
V.
Vernisa. Okay. Vernisa, how can we help you?
Oh, she's not getting unmuted, but I do see here that somebody is unmuted here. Let's find out who that is. Okay, Vernisa, can you go ahead and unmute? I've sent you a request to, and while Vernisa is unmuting, there's another question, Dr. Wallach,
Okay,
that has to do with oils. So they're wanting to know if they use cold press oils and not having it exposed to heat in the process, does that make it any better?
a little bit for a short time, but they'll still oxidize, okay, in days. Whereas what makes ours different, what makes our EFAs and EFA pluses, and the EFA pluses are from fish, what makes ours different, we extract them, okay, from the seeds and the tissues of the fish and the seeds, non-gluten seeds, in a room that's filled with nitrogen, and the equipment is filled with nitrogen, and the soft shell capsules are filled with nitrogen. And then before we put them in the bottles, we flush the bottles with nitrogen. We put them in the bottles, we flush them with nitrogen again before we seal them. So we're protecting our oils with nitrogen, so there's no way they can oxidize. Okay, ours are 1,000 times safer, 1,000,000 times safer than anybody else's oils.
And that oxidation is one of the #1 reasons you do not want to use olive oil, correct?
That's correct. If you want olive oil, you got to grow an olive tree, pull the olive off the tree and eat it. Don't get a bottle of olive oil. Don't buy sardines, in olive oil and that kind of stuff, because olive oil oxidizes and turns into very bad stuff that causes cancer and death.
So whenever you're adding fats or needing something in the bottom of your pan on low heat, not high heat, we can use things like butter, ghee, lard. Any other recommendations that you have, Dr. Wallach?
No, just again, for instance, I soft scramble eggs in butter. Personally, I don't use lard, although it is used around the world. I don't use lard. I do eat a lot of, let's see here, lamb fat, because we eat a lot of lamb chops. And we don't fry them, we just roast them medium rare. And so we save the excess fat, okay, and use that also for cooking and this kind of stuff.
Oh, that's a great idea. I've never thought about that, because you're roasting it and you're catching all those good juices, and as it cools, you got that fat layer you can just skim off and save and use for later.
Put in the refrigerator.
There you go. Great idea. All right, so Vernisa, one more time, if you could go ahead and try and unmute. Otherwise, I need to move on to the next person here, and I will pull up the next question as we're doing that. Now, another question that Pamela had said is she's still losing handfuls of hair. So Dr. Wallach, that could be nutritional deficiency, that could be hormonal imbalances. What would you recommend for a woman? I don't have her age here.
Okay, well, let's just go by 100 pounds of body weight.
Okay.
Get rid of all the bad foods, 10 food lists, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, brown rice, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. Then I'd have her take per 100 pounds of body weight, one of the Healthy Brain and Heart packs per month. If she only weighs 110 pounds, she can take a half of those, everything twice a day. If she weighs 150 pounds, she needs to take 2 Healthy Brain and Heart packs per day, right? Not the whole packs, but one full dose twice a day. And then she needs the MSM. She could take per 100 pounds of body weight, 1 bottle of MSM, so you can take 3 twice a day. And that will support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, including the skin, arteries, and veins. And then I want her to have 3 of our hair, skin, and nails tablets, 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And that should take care of the problem.
All right, thank you. And Gary has a comment in the comments here about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. He says, I just noticed that your website has BTT 2.0 and 2.5, which there's also the original. He wants to know if they all have the 90 for life, and should my grandkids stay on the original?
Okay, the difference between the two is 1 amino acid, okay, for people that have specific diseases. And so I would just, either one works. They both have the 215 nutrients in them, okay? the BTT 2.5 was specifically done for a specific group of people.
Okay, thank you so much. And can I say the specific group of people, Dr.
Yeah,
Wallach?
yes, go ahead.
So if you know anybody who has MTHFR, and they say that they cannot take supplements because the B vitamins are not methylated, that is incorrect, because we have the BTT 2.5 with those methylated B vitamins that they can take. It is not toxic to them. So I encourage anybody that has ever heard that in their life or experience it themselves, check out the Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.5. Get back with the person that invited you to this program and say, hey, I want the 2.5. Let's go ahead, and it looks like Rod is going to be asking a question for Vanessa. So Rod, if you could go ahead and unmute, and I will get you on as well. All right, go ahead, Rod. You're live with Dr. Wallach.
How you doing, Dr. Wallach?
Hello. How can we help you, sir?
My friend has a relative. She's a 61-year-old female, 4'11", 163 pounds, and she's in the hospital with COVID right now. But they said that the fluid in her lungs has gelled, but they can't suction it out. They inserted these tubes to suction it out, but they can't.
You're breaking up very badly. All I'm hearing is buzzing.
Now,
I didn't hear a word you said.
Extensive surgery, but they don't think nobody can take it.
Oh,
Rod,
okay,
I did
Rod,
not hear a word you said.
Can you hear me better now?
yes.
So I said, my friend has a friend who's in the hospital with COVID, and she has hospital with COVID, but her lungs collapsed, and they did this surgery trying to pump the fluid out, but they said the fluid is like gel; they can't pump it out anymore. And
Okay, okay, you say she weighs
163 pounds.
160 pounds. Okay. What I want her to do, since she's in the hospital, I don't even know if they'll let her have any vitamins, minerals, but basically she needs the 90 essential nutrients, and she could do we have a liquid. It's called the Ultimate Classic. It's a liquid multiple, the EFAs, and I would also have her take the collagen peptides. People don't realize it, but your lungs are like 75% cartilage. Did you know that?
No,
your trachea, your bronchi, all the bronchioles are all cartilage. Okay. And so people forget that piece. So they need those collagen peptides. Okay. And then I would also have her take, remember I said the Ultimate Classic, that's a liquid multiple. Don't forget the EFAs, or soft gel capsules. You can chew them up and swallow them because they're not hard tablets. And then we also have the Rebound, or sports drink with 100 nutrients in it. She could have that. But then I want her to have the secret sauce for people with lung problems. Okay. It's called Oxy Body. Why would you want to give oxygen to somebody who has lung problems? Oxy Body, not only for the lungs, because I'm sure that she's getting some oxygen, through a mask or a tube or something like that in the hospital. But guess what? She needs to give oxygen to every cell in her body. And so she needs, at 160 pounds, I want her to take 2 quarts a month, so she can take an ounce at breakfast, ounce at dinner time. And don't forget that MSM to rebuild the cartilage in her trachea, her bronchi and bronchioles. And let's see if we can't bring her out of this, because this is all very simple stuff. It's kind of like dying from being shot with a BB, okay? Because this is a very simple problem. She just needs the tissue building materials for her lungs, including the trachea and the bronchi and all that kind of stuff. But she also needs the 90 essential nutrients for the rest of her body, and she needs the oxygen for the rest of her body, okay? Oxy Body, don't forget the Oxy Body.
Oh, hold on, you got muted, Rod. Go ahead.
Oxybody Ultimate Classic. She also is diabetic.
Okay, then she needs the sweeties.
Yeah,
She needs the sweeties. She needs to take 3 sweeties twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. Don't cold turkey off the medication, but as her blood sugar drops, she can slowly reduce the medication. Okay. And any high blood pressure? Okay.
Don't have blood pressure, but she
He keeps getting muted for some reason. I'm not quite sure why.
Okay. Okay. Let's move on, and he can come back, next week and maybe.
she's on dialysis. She's on dialysis, but not high blood pressure.
She's on dialysis. Oh, there's something you didn't mention. Well, she needs she needs the 3 of the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 of those 3 times a day. That's 3 bottles a month, and she's got to watch it because I don't care if she hasn't urinated in 10 years. She'll start urinating in a week or 2. She'll be able to reduce her dialysis very quickly after a couple of weeks, and usually after a month or 2, she'll be totally off of dialysis. I don't care if she's been on dialysis for 25 years. We get them off of dialysis all the time with this Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. Thank you, Rod, for coming on behalf of a friend. And that's what this program is about, folks, is making sure that you are getting the information that is needed to have ultimate health. So we are coming up to the top of the hour. I just want to thank you, Dr. Wallach.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you and your team, and thank everybody who participated, and thank everybody who's listening. Don't forget the holidays are coming up. Get online, get on the phone, call Rebecca, call me, get those products, give people you love a month's supply, a 2-month supply, a 3-month supply. Get them a CD, a DVD, get them information. It's all, if you're going to build a longevity business, it's all tax deductible because you're actually building your business and advertising by giving away the CDs, DVDs, books, and the products. Okay, so that's all tax deductible legitimately.
And I just want to make, because some people say, oh, well, here, I just refer them to you. I don't want to make any money off of them. But think about it, folks. You go and share with somebody about a movie. Are you making any money off sharing about the movie? You're not getting a thank you or anything. It's not about the money for many of us. It's about the impact that we are making to help people feel better. Why keep it to yourself? So I encourage all of you, again, get back with the person that shared this program with you and ask about our business opportunity, ask about our products. Wherever you are in life, we will meet you there. It's just fantastic that we are in a position that we can help people where they're at. And thank you so much, Shanti. Thank you so much, Nasima. You guys do so much on the back end, and it's so nice not to have to try to get all those comments in and let people in. I appreciate you so much. And Dr. Wallach, we will see you next week with
Absolutely
Live. And everybody, thank you again for joining us. We appreciate you. We love you. And people say, well, how can you love people that you don't know? It's like, you can hate people you don't know. Why not love them?
There you go.
I love you all. You have a fabulous, fabulous rest of the day, Dr. Wallach, and we'll see you next time.
Okay. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Love you too.